welcome back to the farm. We're up here on field 21 today, and Dad is helping me because the thing about this field, we're doing the barley over here. The thing about this field is it's a pretty big field. So as a result, we're a little bit further from the farm. So we end up having to do some carting and getting Dad's help to do the carting. So he's there in the 7710. He's driving the Fortuna trailer, which actually I've had a lot of people comment to me about this trailer, saying it's one that you don't really see in North America. And yeah, I agree. It's the only one I know of. I've not seen any one up here. As I understand it, it's a German make. I have no idea where my dad got it. I'll have to ask him sometime, and see what he has to say. But yeah, it's quite an interesting little bit, really, and a bit of an oddity that we've got on the farm. I know he was looking for a dolly trailer like that held a good amount from the combine, and that's the one he found. So yeah, whether somebody imported it, where it came from, I'm not 100% sure. But it's yeah, it's one of those bits that's a bit strange, but it's a bit cool. You know, something that sort of holds the farm out separately from stuff you normally find around here, which is why I quite like it. And yeah, I had a few questions as well, where also I was being asked why we don't use gravity trailers and an overloader, and basically it's because, as I said, most of the time it's just me running the harvest, and as a result, for me to do an overloader to a gravity trailer would be a bit of a stretch, you know, it wouldn't actually save us any time. It's one of those things where the overloader and the gravity trailers are more time saving when you've got multiple people on a harvest. And for me, we're not really doing that. It's most of the time, unless it is like this, where we're further from the main farm. It's most of the time it's just me doing this, and therefore a gravity trailer might be good, but I can't use it on the field most of the time. The gravity trailers have quite a low clearance, and as a result they tend to pull the straw about, and we want to kind of avoid doing that. It just kind of makes a mess and makes it harder for us to bail up. So yeah, that's why we don't have the overload in the gravity trailer, and we use more of a more tipper trailer setup on here. It just works for us better. So yeah. So those are two big questions that I've been asked recently. Oh, all right, and down again. How are we doing? Okay, we're doing well. We're going to take 3 headlands off this field, I think. We should have enough space to turn around with 3 headlands. No, we'll easily have enough space to turn around with 3 headlands. But I just want to try and make sure that with 2 would do it with the amount of extra space we have around here. But I'd rather things sort of kept on the field. So we'll give ourselves enough space to manoeuvre. Yeah, he's moving up, so he'll come and empty from us. We get most of a tank from doing a headland. Not quite above the top of the viewing window at the moment. And the thing that we do with the thing that Dad tends to do is empty often. Just sort of keeps us going. So. Out with that, he'll turn around and come and empty from us along here, and that will work quite nicely and keep us going quite well. Here he comes, pulling up the side now, and And yeah, so this will take 2 to 3 loads off the combine, which will work quite well for us. And yeah, we'll should have a fair amount of barley off here. Now we have the barley again for the straw mainly on the farm. It's more useful towards the cattle. Oop. Is that, are we empty? Yeah, there we go, we're empty. So we'll put that in. I want to make sure I'm very much clear of him. He should have stopped far enough. Yeah, there we go. Ooh. Sometimes manoeuvring things can be a little bit of fun. But yes, so we have the barley on the farm. Again, for the straw. As I was saying last time, the reason for the barley straw versus the wheat straw and why we keep them separately is because of the nutritional value in the barley straw. It makes a better straw for us to use for doing the cows with, for feeding cows with. We tend to put it in the mixed ration because basically with the mixed rations you can just do that with silage and hay, but silage and hay can be expensive to produce and more time consuming to produce, and really we make more money overall by doing barley as well and mixing some of the barley straw in. And yeah, while we got the fields, it's actually it helps with the cows to do some barley straw, and then that helps towards the nutritional value of that. And then wheat, we use the wheat straw for bedding and things like that, so that it's less, because the yield on the wheat is slightly higher. So we tend to produce more wheat straw and more wheat, but it sells for less, so it sort of balances out overall that it makes more money for us to use wheat straw for bedding and barley straw for feed. And that's why we grow both on the farm, and that's why we have quite a mix of the things that we sell on, that we grow on the farm. Which is quite you know, it's one of those things that it's the kind of thing I want to cover on these vlogs. Is the reason that we do these things and we do what we do. Because yeah, I think you guys might be interested in knowing these things. So that's basically my plan for it. Is what we do. So we're going to cut in at the end here. What I might do is take one more. How are we doing for this? We may have to cut in and then empty. We should be okay, I think. We should be alright. But we're going to open up the field now. Yeah. Right, and round. So we go up here a bit and cut in along here. So I'll try and be parallel. We can be parallel to the straw, then we know that we're going down at the field properly. And then, yeah, straight down here like this, and then try and keep ourselves on a nice straight line. I do have something to mark myself. We don't have GPS on this combine, so we're not in a position where we can basically lock on to that. And yeah, so I'm going to cut in here. I see Dad is, yeah, he's coming up, so he's going to head up. He's actually heading up the wrong end of the field. I think he might be planning to pick me up at the other end. Yeah, that would make sense. I think he's going to pick me up at the other end when we come back. So I am going to get cut through this. We're above the window. He'll pick me up at some point in the right place. We're going to open up this field a little bit, like so. There we go. And round. Yeah. He's heading up the top end. And we'll get the auger out at this point. Like so. Oh, he's a bit close to the crop there. he'll turn around behind me and come and pick me up, which is pretty good. Unless, of course, he doesn't make it in time, in which case I will I'll just keep going, because I think we're all right. We're above the window, but I think we're still okay on fill level. In fact, I can hear him coming now. Yeah. So we'll empty out at the end of this row. Pretty good yield off here. I'm pretty happy with this. He's going to end up tipping after this, I think. Yeah, there we go. So let's put that in the back of his trailer. Should be full enough to tip after this, I think. Yeah, there we are. He's going to head off. Put my auger in. So he's heading off. He's going to tip down at the farm. We're going to continue to open up this field. And, yeah, we'll see how we're progressing in a bit. I've been rather pleased with our yields this year. It's come along nicely. We're getting a good amount out. The farm is doing well as a result. I'm really quite pleased. And we're looking at I think we're looking at just sort of reshaping things a bit. Considering getting some sheep, maybe sheep would be good. I know my daughter very much is interested in having some chickens. So I'm actually what do you guys think? You know, should we get some sheep on the farm? We do have plenty of grass in order to get some sheep. Should we have some chickens? Should we choose both? Should I get some chickens? I mean, I'm interested to see what people think. And also, you know, if you guys have any questions about the farm you want to ask, put them in the comments, and VF will relay them to me. And maybe we could answer some questions that you guys have. I know that lots of people have been asking questions, and that's been great. I've really enjoyed sort of reading the questions that you guys have, and you guys wanting to know about the farm, and lots of thank yous for sharing you know, the story of the farm with you guys. So I'm really pleased with that. And I'm really pleased to see that you guys are enjoying these vlogs. I'm loving making them. I'm really enjoying sort of opening the doorway to showing you guys this kind of stuff. Where's Dad got to? There we go. Good cutting. Just enough so that it fits really well in the header, but not so much that it's that we're worried about squeezing it in. I can hear the 77-10 coming up the side now. There it is. Good little all-round tractor that still. Just works so well, and as I said before, really easy tractor to maintain that. We have a ball keeping that going, and yeah, it's the older one, the 4240 that really is playing up a bit at the moment, and don't know whether to look at maybe doing a replacement on that at some point. Conversely, sorry, the one that really just keeps going and going and going is that little 850. I know we don't use it for a massive amount of stuff on the farm anymore, but it does just work. I think I'm not going to cut through the middle of this. I think I misjudged my other part of the field a little bit and cut a little bit too far to split it in half properly. So we'll go down the edges and we'll treat this as a block. Doesn't really add any extra driving time to it, so it all works out pretty nicely. This is basically the two ways of doing harvesting that keeps the auger out. And keeps the auger as available as possible for the maximum amount of time. So, yeah, there we go. So what we might do today is, I think once we got this finished, we actually have time in this vlog for me to get the outer parts of this field bailed up, or maybe the entire field bailed up. We will have a look at that and see if we can collect some of it as well. I am rather pleased at how well this has gone. It's been a very smooth thing, and it always you know, is a faster job when we have help. But yeah, the farm most of the time doesn't require more than just me to do it. I can handle most of what we have around here. There we go. This field is always a bit of a strange one. That bottom corner, I don't know if you noticed it. Getting it cut is quite difficult. It has the way it's shaped, the way the ground is. You have to cut it. You have to cut it at from a specific direction. Otherwise, the header grounds out. And of course, you don't want to ground the head out. You end up with stones and rocks and other horribleness in there. So yeah, we tend to go and treat that corner carefully. Right, and last little bit. And yeah, wow. That really does take the entire header for this bit, which is a bit concerning, but it is actually just under a full header width, which is good. Works out quite nicely for us, that. How are we doing? We may even have Dad coming over in a bit. So let's put our auger out, and hopefully, if he's not, then what we'll do is we'll lift the head up. Let's disengage. Let's turn off the thresher. Oh, he is coming. There we go. That's fine. He's seen me. He's coming round. So we'll keep moving up here. Make sure he has enough space to turn around. Right, and the next crop we're going to be harvesting is the soybeans. Might be worth going and getting myself cut into that. We do have, yeah. There we go. Dad around. It might be worth getting stuck into those. Those are down the far end. So we'll get ourselves set up. We'll head over that way. Get the get everything going. But we're now in a position where we can very nicely go and drop the header off onto the header trailer. In fact, no, I do not need to do that because we have this field of stubble over here. We'll leave the header trailer where it is and get ourselves straight into the soybeans over here. And we can get started on that. So across this field, yeah, quite good to get stuck into the soybeans, I think. Right, let's get started. So again, we're cutting into the soybeans with the auger into the field. Catch that little bit I missed there. There we go. And yeah, so we'll do three headlands on here. That makes more sense. It gives us enough space to move. Soybeans are looking really nice, really healthy, and I'm very, very happy with these. As you can see, good yield off them straight away. Soybeans very much our biggest earner as far as crop goes. They have a slightly lower yield than the barley and the wheat do, but tends to sell for a lot more. I'm so used to keeping an eye on the other side on this combine. Going around the headlands is always a bit of fun. There we go. I think I'm going to have a larger overlap, really. There we go. Right. So this field should not take us very long to knock out. It's not a huge field. It's actually a lot smaller than the previous one, which is why I'm quite happy to be having a go with it here. And yeah, this is our only field of soybeans this year. We're going to be putting the soybeans into the field we've actually just cut next year. Get a nice big field of soybeans. And this will probably go to wheat next year, I think. We only really do we only have this type of harvest. We don't do sugar beet or potatoes on this farm. Although I have considered doing it before. We'd probably have to get a contractor or somebody in like that to cut it if we did. We don't have the money to be buying a whole load of new machinery. As you can see, some of our neighbours do have sugar beet and potatoes, so across the road there. And we do have a couple. We have one or two really crazy neighbours who, one of them's been trying cotton around here. Now we are a long way north for cotton here. It's not a crop that I think would do too well. But I do know that he has been trying it out with some limited success, I think. So might be interesting at some point to pop over to his farm and have a look at that. It's not a risk I think I would take myself here, but certainly if there's a chance for us to go and have a look at some cotton farming, we might go and do that. Dad has tipped the barley now, or the remaining barley now. That's good. We're doing quite well. We'll have a we should have enough for him to unload by the end of this headland, and that will run quite nicely. So I'm going to get the rest of this headland out, and we'll come back in a bit, and we'll see how we're doing. We'll see how much we have when he comes to unload. I think we caught these soybeans about right. I'm looking at them falling on the header, and they're just about right. They're not too late. They're not. I want to have a look out the back quickly actually. But I'm not seeing a lot of. Yeah, we're not got hardly any wastage in this, so that's really good. So they're not sort of smashing on the front, and it's looking pretty good. We're not sort of seeing any drop on the ground, which is always a good thing. So they're not sort of smashing out of their pods as they go onto the header. The belt on the header helps that. It's one of the reasons we have a belt header on here, and not an auger one. It's or a screw one. It's It basically means that the heads on the soybeans fall onto it and are sort of then gently gathered in, and cushions them a little bit more, and means that they're a little bit better for that kind of thing. We have just finished our second headland. And we've not needed to empty yet. I'm gonna do one more headland. We got a bit of a tight turn space with the road, so I think a third headland will be quite useful. We're in a position actually where there's quite a lot to do here. That is, or we're in a position, sorry, that once we get a third headland out, we might actually find that we're not going to need to cut in, or we're only going to need to do one cut in. Here comes Dad. Yeah, there we go. Get our auger out. And we'll just stop at the end so that we can unload. There we go. Give him a bit of a... empty into the middle of the trailer. Try and keep it nice and balanced. Not that it matters so much on a dolly trailer like this, but yeah, you don't want to put your header, your weight too badly distributed if you were using one of the other trailers. Oh, it seems to be a little bit of a traffic jam on the road at the moment. Not really a massive concern of mine. Ooh. What is a massive concern of mine is me missing crop. It's one of the things you could pick up as I did a return on one of the ends, but we'll try and avoid that. Right, and then around we go. Get this last settling down. Yeah, look at this. We're gonna get away with a single cut in on this. There's not a huge amount of this left, but that's good. That will help us. We'll head for the centre of it, and we'll see where we are in a bit. We're not going to get more than well, I think we'll be lucky to get a full trailer off here. But you know, while I've got Dad here, this is a job that I would normally do when I've got. That I could do just on my own. The fields that we have that only take one load off the trailer, there's not much point in two of us doing that, because obviously by the time I'm full, or by the time we need to empty fully, or to cart back to the farm, I'm not going to lose any time doing it. So yeah. So I think we are about ready. Yeah, we're going to cut in here. So let's bring this round. And we want to get about the middle of this. Yeah, you can see there's not a huge amount left. So if we come in about here, that should do us about right. Should give us, well, it's probably more than a single guy. I think actually I'm further in the middle here than I thought I was. So yeah, we're good. We're good. We got enough space and enough time to finish this off. And I'm pretty pleased. Getting 2 fields harvested today is a lot of progress. And yeah, good to see that with Dad's help we've been able to knock these 2 fields out. The last field we've got, which yeah we wouldn't be able to do today because we need to reconfigure the combine a little bit. Is the corn, and we'll go and do that in a bit. We don't actually make silage with corn. Corn is actually a cash crop for us. It goes to the ethanol plant via the railway. We drop it off at the railway, and they take it off, and it heads off to get done or to get sold. It's normally the railway we take it to, but sometimes some of the other places pay better for it. Yeah, so that's the reason we have corn on here, not for silage, because we make all our silage from bales, or from grass on this farm. There we go. Yeah, we actually picked a pretty good width for this side. I'm quite happy with that. And again, we picked it just under the width of the header, and as a result, we're easily able to pick it up. How are we fitting? We'll have to go and get Dad called over. What I'll do is I'll put on the lights, and he should come over and empty us as a result. There we go. Again, this is a decent width here, so we kind of done ourselves pretty well for finishing this field off. I'm very happy with that, and we're getting cool. So we're gonna have to get that field baled, but we also have the hay to get baled. So I think next vlog, what I will probably do is we'll get the hay rode up. And we'll get that baled, and we'll get the straw baled as well, and then I can sort of collect it whenever I want, which will work quite nicely. Right, so let's deactivate that. put my lights on so that Dad knows that, well, Dad will be able to see that I've finished. So let's get the auger out. And hopefully, in a moment, yeah, I can hear him coming. There we go. There we are. So, yeah, really good progress today. I'm pleased that we got these 2 crops in. We'll be getting the corn done in the near future as well. I want to get I'm going to be getting the hay done over the next few days, and the straw, and we'll get those all baled up. For now, though, all that remains is for me to say thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. And for all the latest videos from the farm, please subscribe to the channel and ring that bell. And I will see you next time. Goodbye.